Guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're doing some more iRacing on the Le Mans series. We're going to be in the GTE Ben & Jerry's BMW M8 GTE. So we have another BMG, and then we have a Ford GT in front of us. I'm trying to decide, should I run the GT, Ferrari, or this? And so I chose the BMW just because there's a Ben & Jerry's. You know, why not? So yeah, I think we do have one of the best schemes out here. Though that car is pretty sick though, with the flames, I think. And then we have a BMW with some Porsche colors. I don't know. If it's Porsche, I don't know. I'm going to say Porsche. I might switch between the two. I never know. Just going to shut my car off real quick. So, now as we're getting ready to roll off, as the LMP1s will have to roll off first, and then it'll be the LMP2s, and then the GTEs will roll off. So, this is actually my first ever race in the GTE. In the 24 hours, I've only done one other race, and that was in the ISMA series. And so, I don't really know what this type of racing is like, so this is going to be very exciting to see how we perform today. So we have some cars rolling off now.
Get ready, going green.
Ooh, that was close there. I don't know what happened. I think it was some type of stack up.
Green flag, green flag.
Green flag is out. We already have one car spinning, so we haven't even made it to the front stretch. Now, as we're coming around for our first lap, cars behind us, cars are everywhere. I'm surprised that that one car didn't even make it down the front stretch. As we have many BMWs to race up against today. And like I said, this is my first ever GTE class race. So I'm thinking that the LMP1s are going to have to come around pretty soon, as we have a Ford GT off the track. Ford GT and BMW really slow, as we're heading into a really fast turn for the LMP1s. For us, we have to slow down a bit. We're going to make a dive to that inside. He's going to have to give up another position. We're going to have to let this Porsche by. He has the BMW colors. But nope, he's red. We got a car into the wall. Absolute chaos on the first lap. Absolute chaos. As we have 1 hour here at the ring. So, one thing that I like to think is that we have 1 hour. I just have to keep up with the pace. And we have an hour. So, that's a long time to do stuff. So, I don't push my car's limits on the first few laps. And plus, I mostly race this series for my rating. We got a car. Looked like he was spinning there, but I think he was trying to get a pass, but that car would not let him. And so we probably already moved up a lot of positions in that first lap. as we're coming down into this first turn. So everyone's first lap is really not the time that they would want because A, you're not going as fast as you want to, and B, there's a lot of wrecks. So last time through here, I was in like my Ferrari headspace, to where I thought that I had to be in first and then second. And it's the same for the LMP ones when I'm really supposed to be in second and then third. It's a lot. Like, I got into this car, I want to say 15 minutes before practice. Or like 15 minutes into practice. And so I don't have much practice with this car. So that's going to be fun.
Slow car on the left.
Slow car on the left, copy that. Who's that? Is that a BM? Yeah, I think that's a BMW. We're gonna have to try and catch up. As it's really just close, sort of spread apart, but actually really good racing. As we're not really fighting for any big positions, seeing how I'm in 30th. But I'm thinking that the LMP ones are going to start rolling around here pretty soon, splitting up the field. As I think that BMW behind me is getting closer and closer every lap.
Car stopped on the right.
Probably spun around. We're going to have to go a little bit high. That's the fun part about this series. Anyone can literally just spin, and what do you know? You're in literally 5 spots up than what you qualified in. That you didn't even qualify. And I didn't qualify because since I've been in the LMP1 car, I sort of always look in chat and I always see stuff like, thanks, you didn't even make it past turn 1. And I saw the driver name and I'm like, oh, he was in a GTE. And so then I sort of knew. So, and that's what I always do for cars that I don't really know that well, is I don't qualify. Because I like to experiment with, okay, you know, is there going to be a wreck in turn 1? And because I knew that it was a really sharp turn, everyone's going to have to slow down and there might be a wreck. So that was important for me. Very much as that BMW is getting closer and closer. It's putting a lot of pressure on me. He's going to go to the outside and he's going to slow himself down. And that's a problem that you have with pushing your car, is that you're going to eventually, you know, wear yourself down. Now going through these, it's like those 2 little turns. That's probably one of the most trickiest parts for me. Or the turn coming out of the carousel. Those are probably like the turns that trouble me the most, as we have the LMP1 class coming up right behind us. Is that the LMP1s or is that just wrecked cars coming up to pass us? Probably the LMP1s. Yep, it's the LMP1s. This early and we're already 4 laps in and they're already hunting us down. What a surprise? Not really. We're going to get the flag.
Left side. Clear.
That actually helped split up me and the car behind us. So the LMP1 around here, they're really fast, except the Audi, it's a bit loose. So that's the only reason why I don't really like running the LMP1, is because A, I'm slowing it, B, it's getting loose. Like after a bit of a run, you start to get loose, especially in the Audi R18. And so that's something that I don't really like about it. But everyone's got to live through it. And so, yeah. So these are the turns that will probably mess me up the most this race. As we're getting the blue, we're also going to have to race him. I think that LMP1's going to go out around the outside.
Clear on the left.
We have another BMW coming up right behind us. We're just going to let him by because we know that he's going to be the faster car.
1.519.
So maybe we're going to be able to hold on to our spot as we lock up the brakes. Going into the first turn, he's going to have to go to the outside, which is really the slower lane. But we're going to let him have the inside right here. Get back into the gas because this race is not over. You got a bit loose there. We're getting loose throughout here. Getting loose is not ideal around this spot, especially when you know that your car is around other cars. You don't want that. And now we have another LMP1 coming right up behind us. We're going to have to let him by. Oh, yeah, no, looks like we're not going to. Yes, we are. He's going to. That's.
Car on your right.
I'll let him pass right.
Clear the right.
That let the car behind me gain some time on me. It's already becoming a problem. Now as we're already 10 minutes into the race, it's going to be pretty exciting
0.44.
to see how this will turn out. Braking is actually getting pretty early through there. Got a bit loose there, but the car does have really good handling, so we're able to save it if it ever does get loose. And that's the great part about driving this BMW. It's also just got a lot of speed. I just love the sound too. It's got an amazing deep engine, except when it starts getting up into the RPMs at about 6,000, it starts to get higher. I hear a little bit of an electric sound, so I'm thinking it could be part electric. If you guys know, comment it down below. Another LMP1 coming up right on us. We're giving up the flags. He's gonna be able to stay there.
Car on the left. Clear on the left.
That's something good to know, that we're able to go run our line. We're having to do some defense up against the car behind. Very, very interesting race so far. As the mirror inside the car actually makes everything look way closer
57.7.
than it actually is. I don't really like that, but hey, you gotta do it sometimes. And we were trying to race him there. Well, oh, okay, looks like he wants to go to the outside. I was gonna go to the outside and let him by. Oh, we got a 4X there. I don't know if that was my fault or his, because I feel like he was squishing me down. I had nowhere to go. We gave him a 4X, and I'm sorry about that, but I think it was really his fault, which, I mean, I don't know. You're a faster car, you should... I mean, I was trying to let them by on the inside, but that didn't work. So we have an LMP1. We're going to let him by. There's the Audi. I think we have another one. That's an LMP2. LMP1 goes into the sand. We're going to let him by. A lot of LMP1 and LMP2s coming by us. LMP2 right behind us. We're going to have to let him by to the outside. I actually really love running the LMP2s. It just gets hard after a couple while. And now we have another LMP2 coming up behind us. Absolutely chaos. Is that an LMP1 coming up? Yes, it is. I believe that's the one that went into the sand. He's going to have to pass. Crazy amount of drivers that I just had to let by as we lost the position there. Feel bad for giving that guy a 4X, but really I didn't have anywhere to go and he sort of came down on me. It's gonna hurt my rating a little. As long as we can run cleanly, we're good. Now, as I'm just trying to see where that other car is, so then I can get my position back. Because we've been running a pretty equal today, so I don't know if we're going to be able to catch up to him. I do think that 4X won't affect it as much as I think it would, but I'm over worrying about it. It's fine. So now coming into the corner, it can get a little tight in the car to where as you're trying to exit, it won't really want you to, because then it just like the car tightens up and then it starts to slide to the outside. And so that's probably one of the harder parts for me. This part, it's just hard for me because coming out of it, I can feel the car getting a bit loose every single time. So that's a little worrying. This track is a beautiful track. And something I noticed while I was waiting for the race to start is it's right over here. There's a roller coaster. Yeah, it's right there. If you look to your left, it's right there. It's insane. We have an LMP1 behind us, I think. LMP1 behind us. We're gonna have to let him by. They have really fast acceleration, so we're gonna get a bit tight there. Very long race today here. As per 8 17 and a half minutes in. It's going to be a very long race. So you just have to take it calmly around this track. And I mean, it's a 4-mile lap. So we've done about 36 miles worth. And I normally will end about 120 miles, maybe a bit more than that. So this car is going to be going for a while. And I've recently been like gaining a lot of interest about endurance racing. So that's something that I actually really love, endurance racing. And I really wanted to race in this series. And so how I got my license promoted was first, I got my license promoted from a D to a C. And then as I was a C, I held it at about like a 3 point something. I think it was like a 3.52. And because I held it at a 3.52, I was eligible for a license upgrade. And at this point, I didn't know that. I thought, oh, well, I'm just going to have to race more. And then I logged on one day, and it said, you've been promoted to a B. And I thought it was a mistake until I really rethought it. And so that's how I came here. It was actually pretty fun. As next week, I'm not going to be able to race because I do not have the track. But I will be racing NASCAR because I do have that. And I will most likely be racing NASCAR Xfinity Series at, I think it's Homestead, Miami. And so that's going to be fun. I haven't raced oval racing since Daytona because I didn't have all the tracks until now. And then I have like a 4 week like straight that I can just race because it goes to Miami and I think it goes Martinsville, except I don't think Xfinity races there. Bristol, Texas, I think those are 4 tracks that I can race at. I have to rethink it. We have an LMP1 coming up behind us. It's a lot. 4 weeks is almost a month that I can just be racing. So hopefully I can get my license upgraded to an A, and then I'll be able to race in the Cup Series. And then that'll be exciting. And then hopefully by the end of the season in the road class, I'll get it up to an A. And then the only thing that I pretty much race besides this is dirt. So then I'll have to get my dirt license up. And then I might put myself to a challenge after I do my dirt and my road to do the dirt road because I don't know, I like those little type of challenges. But dirt's definitely going to be fun to get my license upgraded for because then I'll have more types of sprint racing, late models. I don't know when the UMP modifieds are, but then I'll start getting into like the winged and non-winged, and it's going to be fun. So stick around because I'm going to try and be uploading more, and, well, you might just see me race a little bit of everything. Because that's what I like to do. I don't like to, I like to stick with one series and like follow it, but I don't like to upload only one type of series. I like to sort of go around and do any type of series that I can because it sort of just adds like a little mix and it sort of shows like, it's sort of just good practice too because let me tell you, NASCAR, it's helped me a little bit with my left-hand turns because that's pretty much all they do. But road racing, it's actually helped me a lot in NASCAR because when I do the NASCAR road racing now, I might be able to say like, hey, I might have a little upper hand on these guys because I actually do more road racing than probably a lot of people. And so that's why road racing has helped me a lot. And when they go to Watkins Glen, I'll be able to go to that race and probably do a good top 20, maybe top 15. And, I'm just saying it, but I could do better than that. NASCAR will be very fun to race though, as it is going to be insane. I got some new paint schemes to race in. Yeah, it's going to be really fun. I got new paint schemes and all of that. Yeah, we're going to have to go onto the outside. Great. Hold it. There it goes.
Clear on the left.
So yeah, that's just something that I think that I'll be able to do, is doing lots of different types of racing. NASCAR is for sure going to be a big one for me, because once I get my license up to an A, then I'll be able to race in the Cup, Truck, and Xfinity. So then I'll be able to upload, like on Fridays I'll be able to upload the trucks, Saturdays I'll be able to upload the Xfinity, and then Sunday I'll be able to upload the Cup. And so that's something that I like to do. As this week, as they're at Atlanta, I might get in some Carburetor Cup. I think that's how you say it. I might get a little bit of that in. And yeah, I might be starting a new series. I just can't tell you what that series is going to be yet. I'm going to try and start it, but, you know, that's just how racing is. YouTube. I might start it, I might not. And I'm going to really try and see if I can start it. Because I might need someone to help me start it. I can sort of feel our tires wearing a bit out. So we're going to definitely get our tires replaced when we come in for fuel. But yeah, NASCAR, can't wait to start recording on that again. It's going to be so much fun. And yeah, it's just going to be awesome. As NASCAR is so the main reason why I joined iRacing is so then I could race NASCAR, because I've always watched it. I watched it ever since like I was a little kid. Not a little kid, but like I want to say like 6 to 7. I started watching it then. And then I sort of heard about iRacing and I'm like, might want to do that. And so I waited a little. Then I got my wheel. Then I got iRacing. And the first thing that I ever did is I went onto a Legends car at South Boston. Well, funny thing, I wasn't the first person on this account on iRacing. My dad was. He was the first person on this account. He did a NASCAR, the old SS, not Camaro, but like the old SS at South Boston. And so I sort of looked at like how long the track was. It's, for you guys who don't know South Boston, it's like, I think it's a track in West Virginia. Not West Virginia, but just Virginia. It's not a big track. So definitely NASCARs couldn't run there. But for sure, like late models do. And so, I said, no, Dad, you need to put on a Legends car. And so I put on a Legends car, I went out there, amazing. And then I started racing the Truck Cup, and it was like the best thing ever. I got my first race win. It was so amazing. I felt like I was actually getting better at iRacing. And then I realized my MRP wasn't going up at all. So then I started looking at series that would raise your RMP, and I saw the Legends car. And so then I started racing it there. So then, after I did a lot of the Legends car and a lot of the Indy car, very hard dedication, I gotta tell you, to get out of that rookie class. Oh, street stocks, that's what I did the most. It's really hard to get out of the rookie class, but after I did it, I was really, really happy. Because then, that opened up the brand new world of K&N, Monte Carlo, and Wheel and Modified. And so, after I opened up those, it was sort of interesting for me, especially for me now. It's very interesting. But the one reason why I wanted to get to C class is because there were cautions. Isn't that strange? And then I got to C class, and I was like, oh my, like, I could barely talk. And so I did my first ever Indy race. It was at Phoenix. It was amazing. It was great. Really didn't have anywhere to go there. It was amazing. It was great. But then, right after that, I sort of, I really had no other option. But, never mind. Hold on. Let me rearrange that. Oh my. I need to take a breath. So, after that, I did my first ever IndyCar race at Phoenix, and it was great. The first caution, after it came out, I was like, oh yes, I now have these. And I think that that's helped me a lot in the road series, oval, because, like, now if I'm falling behind, I can always catch up.
1 minute 59, 0.452, left side, clear on the left.
I'm going to go ahead and let this LMP1 by. And so, I remember I did my first race, and I was so excited to finish that race. I finished that race. I go back onto the logging screen, and you know what I see? I got promoted to B class. So I only got one race in the C class. And so that's funny because it's happened to me both times. I did like, I want to say like 10 races in the C class for road, and then I didn't do any over the off season, but then I still got promoted. And so now it's strange to see the double green. But hopefully at Daytona I can get it upgraded. But yeah, as we have an LMP1 coming up behind us. I love doing Daytona, the road course. It's just really fun. Go to the outside for you. I didn't know what he was doing there, because in my mirror I saw him like riding up against me. I'm like, okay, what's gonna happen? And I think that he was waiting for me to drop down so then he could pass, but I stayed up top for the turn. It's just how iRacing goes. But yeah, and so what I was doing all throughout like the off season was I would do like these little challenges. Like I would go into a test drive, and then I would be like, all right, I'm gonna do like the 2 hours at Daytona, and I would be in like an LMP1. I would love it, and then to get upgraded to this, it was absolutely insane for me, because I've always looked at endurance racing and I'm like, okay, like how hard is it to get there? And now that I'm actually racing at it, I mean, for anyone who wants to join iRacing, here's a few words. You should get it, but you also have to take in consideration that it's also a bit of a time consumption because, I mean, each race is actually pretty long. Even if it's just like in the cup, or like not even the cup. If it's just in like Legends car, it's still going to take like 20 to 25 minutes because you have practice and qualifying and like a 30 lap race. And so it's a big time consumption, but it's worth it at the end. It's totally worth it. And that's something that I really love, is that iRacing, it's worth it. So yeah, I didn't even realize we're over halfway there. We're sort of just flying in our Ben and Jerry's car. It's gotten pretty insane in this race. I'm just trying to sort of like collect myself. Also, because I haven't uploaded in a while, I sort of just want to like talk, you know?
Car on the left. Still there. 1 minute 57, 46, 5, 7. Still there. Clear on the left.
Something with iRacing that I actually really love is that, you know, you can go out there and test drive any one of your cars, and so at any track. I mean, you might have to make some adjustments to like the chassis so then you don't fail the tech, but I don't even know. See, that's the thing. I don't know why they put in the failed tech if you're just gonna go like practice or like just do it for fun. But like what I personally have done is I've taken a F1 car, it was like the McLaren, and I took it out at Bristol, and I was like flying, and then I also did the same with the Audi R18 at Bristol. It was insane. Whoa, LMP1 threading the Neil. We're going to get a bit loose there. I think that LMP1 took a little bit of air off our car, if not a lot. I just looked in my mirror and I saw that LMP1 fly by. All of these are faster cars. I love the sound of that Porsche. It's got like, ooh. I just like it. I really like it.
0, 5. Stay on the right. Clear. You got a slow car on the left. You got a slow car on the left. Car stopped on the left. Go to
Sorry,
the top.
spun
That
out.
car is not a lead lap car.
How many laps of fuel do we have left? 10? So yeah, we can wait to pit. LMP2 coming up behind me. We're gonna let him by. I think he activated DRS, if they do have DRS. I know that the LMP1s do. I think the LMP2s do, because when I tried and activate it, it went faster, but I think they do. I really do.
Got a car on the left. Clear on the left.
I also like how it sort of shows you like their brake lights, because then that helps me understand like where people are braking. And also, like in NASCAR, if you just brake check someone, they're not gonna know. So. This is gonna be chaos. We have an LMP2 coming up right behind me, going into the sharp part, and then it's also a faster GTE. I'm gonna have to let them both by. Do. Don't mind me, BMW. Don't spin me. His nose got really close there. We're on lap 20 already. If anyone made it this far, comment down below. BMW. Why not? BMW. It's also just interesting to me how NASCAR's, like, they'll have to come in for pit stops for new tires and fuel, while these can go out there and run so long without having to come in. Now, will they ever have to come in? Yes, but I'm gonna have to stay to the outside for this LMP1. He's gonna have to go by.
Clear on the right.
Then we're also gonna have to let this Porsche by.
Car on your right. Clear.
So, something that I've noticed is that when I put on a paint scheme from tradingpaints.com, which they didn't pay me to say this, but really good website, you should go do it. It's completely free. I mean, there is a membership that you can get, but you can totally race all the things completely, most of the things for completely free. And amazing website. Anyways, so when I pick a paint scheme, apparently everyone else around me has chosen a paint scheme as well. Something that I've just found out. So then I wonder if in NASCAR, if I choose, let's say, a Jeb Burton Ellis tractor paint scheme, will everyone else around me have NASCAR driver's paint scheme? That I have to test out. He's gonna flash his lights at me, and that's actually really, I'm okay with people doing that, because then that sort of lets me know, like, hey, it's like an attention getter. It's like, hey, I need to pass, and so then I let him. BMW though is feeling really good, better than the Ferrari, I can tell you. Except Ferraris, they do go fast. But I've been running really good lap times in the BMW. Comment down below what's your favorite GTE car. Also, comment down below maybe your favorite LMP1 or LMP2. Well, no, don't comment down below your LMP2, because we know there's only one. Wonder which one it could be. We're over. We have just a little bit under 20 minutes to go. We're gonna let this LMP1 by. That's really important in endurance racing, is you don't want someone to be mad at you for the whole race. And so that's why sometimes you have to like let them by, because when tempers flare, you have to deal with them for the next 60 minutes. So, rather be nicer to everyone than having to avoid them coming spinning full throttle at me. Honestly, I can't wait until we go to Le Mans for the last part in the season. Something interesting that I find is that when I race up against, so when I was in the ISMA series, when I was racing up against people in the Daytona prototype, I would always get the hardest class, and we're just going to stop for him. And I would always be racing up against the hardest class. And I don't know why, but, I mean, is it something to do with, like, could you guys tell me down below? I mean, I think it's, there's always like this little number by my name when I go to like the results on the beta UI, and it says like add or subtract, and I think like that's like the skill level that you get put in, except I don't do well, so how am I in a good skill level? If you guys know, comment down below. So yeah, we'll come in and pit this time. We'll get some fresh tires and we'll be right back out as we have less than 15 minutes to go. This car deserves a little break from racing. We're gonna have to cut across right there. On the pit limiter. So yeah. So this is honestly a really fun track to do it at because it's in Germany. It's long, long track and a long race. I like them. I'm in a short track and a long race. I'm okay because it's more repetitive. But in a long track and a long race, you get in less laps, which is better for me. Got some cars passing. I just need to refresh my mind what car we're driving. We're gonna, yeah, Ben and Jerry's beautiful car. It's got a couple bugs on them. I'm gonna start the car back up. We are coming to 13 minutes to go. You see that P on my steering wheel right there. Probably stands for pit limiter. We should be going pretty soon, as we are 50 seconds into our pit stall as we're in neutral. We have some cars just now coming in as we, so I think the leader's behind us. So we just made it out before that LMP1. Now getting back out there on these cold tires, but new, it's going to be a bit difficult for the car to readjust itself. Because it's been racing on super good tires. They were all nice and warm. But now we're back onto fresh tires, and so we got to be that little bit careful. But I think it's going to help us catch a little bit more grip, making us a bit faster on the straightaways. So now, if we're coming up to the 10 minutes to go, the field's more spread out. Everything's sort of just going a bit smoothly. Not a great turn there. Really not the best turn. Oh, and the car behind us goes around. We have two LMP1s battling. We are gonna have to let them by. Oh, that's a bad spot. Oh, another bad spot.
Car on the left. Clear on the left.
Bad spot to sneeze.
I'm making a chicken melt. You want one? How long do you cook it?
I would say about 37. Sorry, guys. Bit intermission. As we have less than 10 minutes to go. Sorry, guys, we're just... It's about lunchtime when I'm recording this, so we're trying to get some stuff figured out. He flashes lights at me. He got close there.
Keep to the right. Clear.
I actually like that paint scheme, the Rockstar. Although I really do like the Ben and Jerry's, though. This one is really good. Because I don't really, oh! Yikes! A bit of car contact. We lost control there. We're gonna have to back it up. That's gonna affect us. As we touched the wall there, the car sort of turned around, and that gave us the lost control. I think the car's gonna be fine. I'm not sure though. Because we did hit it, so I think we do have a bit of damage, but I don't think it should affect the turning or tires at all, even though the tire was... That's the good part about running the BMW, is that the tires are a bit far away from the engine, so when you hit something, the tires probably don't get damaged as much as we get another off track, making us a 7X. 10 away from having a penalty. Not too big of a deal, but we're going to stay on the outside. Hopefully we don't get another.
Car on the left. Clear. Left side. Clear.
That car ahead of us got a bit loose. And apparently a little bit of an internet connection issue. Or is that just iRacing? Never know as we get a bit loose. These tires are not doing well. I think it's because we spun. Tires won't let us run our normal because they are worn out, even though that we literally hit not too long ago. We're going to let this LMP2 by. And on my mirror inside my car, it looked a lot closer. What's that, like magnified like 2,000? Yeah, here's where we hit last time. It was right there. I think we have a little bit of damage. Not too much. Oh no. It's gonna get interesting.
Clear on the left. Left side. Clear. Left side. Clear on the left. Left side. Clear on the left.
My spotter's gotta get tired of saying that. Left side, clear on the left. Oh, you're telling me to move? Yeah, no. No, because you said that, no.
Clear.
Is that even the guy? Yep, that was. How do you know that I had a blue flag, huh? We could have been racing for all you know. Honestly, people who do that, I'm a little, I don't know, because, like, you don't know, like, when they're gonna let you by, and so I get that, and so, like, then you're reminding them, like, hey, but then right once you put the exclamation, and I think it was in all caps, it's sort of, like, yelling at me. So that I don't like.
Left side. That car is not a lead lap car. Clear.
Well, neither am I. I do really like the BMW though. It is a really good car though. As we have less than 5 minutes to go. Pretty exciting. Oh, little, don't mind me just doing a quick Tokyo drift with less than 5 minutes to go in the race. Yeah, our times have gone down. Now, something that I love about this is that I think it's electric, so then it can sort of help the car get a little bit of a boost with accelerating. So then, like, you can run, like, a bit higher. Oh, higher gears than some of the other cars in these terms. And so that's why I think that a lot of people actually do choose the BMW over a lot of cars because of that reason. We have about, I want to say now, we have about 3 minutes to go. So, and we have a big pack behind me. So it's going to be fun. We're going to have to let all of them by. Yikes. We're going to get an off track.
Got a car on the left. Clear on the left. Left side. Keep to the right. Clear.
We have that beautiful Porsche. I do think though if a 4GT was running that scheme, it would make it 1000% better. It does look really good on the Porsche though.
5, 4,
it does look really good. I just prefer that scheme on a 4 GT. Just because, yeah, and that's not too good. So yeah, that's something that, you know, cautions out for some reason. Oh, BMW spun out. So now we're coming down to 2 minutes to go. LMP1's gonna try and pass, so we're gonna let him by. As we have about less than a minute to go, so my guess is that we are gonna be getting the white flag. Stay up top here.
Clear.
So we should be getting the white flag this time. This is going to be exciting.
White flag next time by a stripe.
White flag. Now this is where all the action is going to happen. White flag as we have 10 seconds to go. Last lap. Yikes. These tires really are not liking us right now. Whoa, we got loose there.
They said you cut the course.
We got very loose there coming off the track. Now that brings us to a 9X. I mean, that hurts, but it's fine. We've literally ran 30 laps, so 30 laps in 1 hour. It's been a great race. And we don't want another there. We have an LMP2 that's wanting to get by. We have nowhere to go. That was the one that I gave the 4X to earlier. Because he cut me off. Not going to get upset about that. Yes, I am. And we're coming around to finish. Here we go. Checkered flag. The race is officially over.
That's the checkered flag. We'll get them next time.
So, Spotter's not too happy about that. But I am. And so now we're going to go watch the first lap. And so, yeah. So, get a little bit of mouse action. Okay, so apparently this is the best that we can go. It's lap 2, so we're just going to watch this lap. So we are in the GT Le Mans cars, as there is a GT Le Mans and a GT Daytona. So yeah. I'd like to thank everyone who's watching right now, and thank you for watching this very long race with me. I hope you had fun watching this, as it's very close racing for the first, I want to say, 5 laps, and then we sort of got, separated from each other, and it was sort of it was okay. But yeah, I'd like to thank you all for watching, and I will see you in the next race. Bye.